words. He is. I said I wouldn't do the impression, so I'm not going to do the impression, which he does all the time. He is the president of the Pay It Forward Foundation. He is the creator of the Pay It Forward bracelet. He is Mr. Charlie Johnson!
I've got a thing with stages, so I'll be down here. Actually, I feel like sitting.
Go on. Put a seat on stage.
Damn it. The bigger this thing gets, the less I want to be up here. It's just, Chris, was it, that stood up and talked about it? Thank you for standing up and talking about it, because the bigger this thing gets, I don't want to be up here talking. It just feels weird. There's a quote, and I have no idea who said it, and I know I'm just going to bastardize it terribly, but you'll get the gist of it. It said, I woke up this morning confused as whether to enjoy the world or to help it. And I think it's weird. We all talk about success for 40 or 50 years to build up capitalism, to build up TV, to build up what's on advertising. I can only let my wife, thanks man, I can only let my wife know I love her with a big ring, and the only way I felt I was happy is if I got that platinum credit card, and if I got that car, and if I got that house, and I got that money, and I got everything, and I wasn't happy. And now, success, and now we're, the big thing is to talk about happiness, and we're all searching for happiness, but then there's other people that say if you search for something that you won't get it, you won't find it. So, and listening to Mike, I mean, I literally could have just said ditto and walked off the stage. And to be honest with you, it sounds a lot more intelligent coming from a British guy. God bless America. Gareth and Jerome and Tony, to be sitting here in front of this group. And I was sitting in the back there too, like with just pacing back and forth. I've never done that before. Usually I'm just kind of lighthearted and not worried, and my heart was pounding. And I honestly went through 20 different speeches back there in 10 minutes of what I was going to start off with, what I was going to say, what I wasn't going to say, if I was going to be animated, if I wasn't. Cried 3 or 4 times. Freaking pansy. But, I mean, you pay it forward. Everyone basically in here knows what it's about. And in a complex world, I think we need simplicity. I think we've made life amazingly more complex. And if you sit down with someone, not in a group setting like this, but smaller groups, everyone claims to be a very nice person. We're not nice enough. Everyone claims to be centered. We're not centered enough. Everyone claims to be balanced. We're not balanced enough. Everyone claims to be improving all the time. I don't think it's enough. And I love what Mike was saying. I love that. Because when we get bored and we have nothing else to do, where do we go? We go to the mall. Are you shitting me? We go to the mall to waste time, to spend money we don't have on stuff we don't need. And everyone shakes their head, but this weekend, if you're bored, you're going to go. Seriously, to me, I've never said this live, and I hope I don't get in trouble for it. I think in 20 to 30 years, we will look back at this time in our life with what we watch on TV, how we treat people, and how we go about our lives, like we look back at segregation 50 years ago. We will be absolutely disgusted with how we go about our lives. The world has become so disconnected that we gain our happiness from other people's misery. Why do you think reality TV is so big? Because we go to a job, again, God, Mike, why don't you just come up here and talk with me, man? We go to a job we don't like, to be told what to do by someone we don't respect, to get that money that won't buy us happiness, and then we go home and we sit down in front of the TV to watch the Kardashians, to watch the Housewives of Orange County, to make sure someone else's life is worse off than ours. We gain our happiness from other people's misery. And I'm the crazy one, because I don't have a plan. This movement doesn't have a plan. This movement doesn't have an education curriculum. This movement doesn't have a ton of money behind it. It doesn't have a 5-year plan. It doesn't have structure. And people can't talk about it to other people and say exactly what we're doing, but I'm the crazy one. Pay It Forward's the crazy one. This movement's the crazy one. When all we simply want to do is make the world a better place. But if it's not more than that, then it just goes away. People move on to something that has more structure, that has more base to it, that has more funding. And I personally, I don't know what to do. So this isn't really much of a talk. This was completely different. This is more of like a question thing. Like how do you make it so what you guys just heard from Mike and myself, it's not just you love it for an hour and then life takes over. How do we make it so you guys go out there and actually do it? How do we care more? How do we trust more? How do we do more? And I don't know that. And I don't, yes, Snappy erased them. Maybe part of the answer is simplicity. I think there's a lot of people that personally don't know how to help, or they feel awkward, they're shy, or they're insecure about walking up to someone, like Mark was saying, and like a lot of you that were at the flash mob, when you tried to hand someone a book, they said no. I actually, where did he go? Someone was told to F off. Wow. That's where our world is at. And I know I get in trouble. I know Joseph McClendon got mad at me last time I spoke at TED with him, and he looked down at me and said, there are people that are doing a lot of stuff. Yes, there are. I will agree with him. I will agree with all of you. There's a lot of amazing stuff going on. But I bet you would also agree with me that the world's not in a good spot right now, right? Okay. So we're not doing enough. We're not doing enough. Apparently there's not enough self-help books. There's not enough people speaking about it. There's not enough coaches. There's not enough funding. There's not enough people simply caring. And you fight cancer, you fight homelessness, you fight Occupy Wall Street, you fight companies, you want to tear this down, we fight. We can tell everyone in the world what we're against, what we don't like. But if you look someone in the eye and ask them what they're for, you're going to draw crickets. You're going to draw blank. That's all we do, is we continue to fight everything in this world, but we cannot tell the world what we want to do to create something better. What are we for? Schools, anti-bullying, that's the big thing, right? Anti-bullying. Don't bully. Don't drink. Don't do drugs. Don't get knocked up. Don't fall out. Don't. Holy shit. You know as well as I do, as many of you, the NLP, all you guys in here talk about the mind and how it works and all these things. As soon as you tell a human what not to do, what do they want to do? The polar opposite, but yet we've got hundreds of millions of dollars and all these celebrities backing anti-bullying campaigns because that's what their agent told them to do, and that's the cool thing to do, so they look like they give a shit. Oh God, I'm American, I gotta calm down. I'm sorry. But it doesn't work. That's why when we walk into these schools and we give these kids something good to do, rather than tell them what not to do, the teachers just love it. But again, we're the crazy ones. We're the ones that can't get people to back us. We're the ones that people love, but they're out on the fringes just waiting for someone else to jump in. don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. It's the most simple, most pure, most genuine thing that I know of. To me, it's the one thing in this world that 7 billion people can be a part of. There's no money, there's not a lot of time, there's not a lot of effort. I'm not asking everyone to drastically change their life. I'm not asking everyone to take a lot of time or energy out of their life. We're just asking for one little tiny thing. Do something just a little bit different than you did today, than you did yesterday, and tomorrow just a little bit. I just want to inch us back to a better world. Utopic, yeah. Unrealistic, most people would say. But we just need little, done by millions of people over an extended amount of time, and one day we'll wake up and it won't be little anymore. Just tiny things. And when we speak to these schools too, a lot of these kids say, well, what if they don't like it, or what if they don't accept it, or what if they're not grateful for what we do for them, or what if you go up to help an old lady and she smacks you with her bags because you think she's trying to rob you, or you're trying to rob her. I don't have a perfect answer for that, but all I keep hearing back is because they're not getting the reaction they want. The world's given up, and a lot of people have given up. I don't want to help. But we got to start somewhere, right? Because you all agreed with me about 10 minutes ago that the world's not exactly where it needs to be. And I'm assuming that you all want your kids to grow up in a better world, right? And when they have kids and you have grandkids, I'm assuming you all want this world to be better off for them. This is the first generation where the adults believe that the future will be worse off for their kids than it was for them. That is a very unique time to live in. That is an unbelievably unique time. With everything, we're sitting in here. Look at all the clothes we have. Look at this stage. You guys paid money to come here. I flew over on a jet. But like Mike said, there's 1 billion people right now that are going to go home or go to sleep without food. And we're jumping on stage having a good time. Now, I don't have a problem with that, but we can do more. We can. We all know we can. But we're sitting back waiting for the government to do more. We're waiting for the wealthy to do more. We're waiting for corporations to do more because they have tons of money. And it's just unbelievable to me to how many. It's not enough. It's not good enough. I don't like it. I don't like what I see. And I have never been through so many emotions in my life in the past year. Walking away from what I walked away from. I'm not a risk taker, believe me, I'm a pansy. My wife can tell you that. I don't like this stuff. I don't like to be out of my comfort zone. I don't even like when the freaking train is late. I didn't like being late to the Rainmaker meeting today. It just pissed me off. I don't like that stuff. But we've got to do more. We've got to do more. And I assume as well, and I've got to stop saying I assume. I don't assume, I believe you feel like I feel. I know you guys feel what I feel. I know you are pissed off one day, then happy the next. And then you're excited 1 hour, and then you're scared to death the next hour. With all the choices we have, with all the good, with all the bad, with all the ups, with all the downs, with all the things you got to do, with all the kids, advertisements, what am I doing right? Can I do more? Can I do less? Me saying one thing, Mike saying one thing, another speaker telling you need to be this and that and this, and we have far too many choices. And our world is riddled with anxiety. Have I even talked about paying it forward yet? We're riddled with anxiety, and I know some of you, or most of you, go to sleep like I did before I walked away from my company. You're exhaustedly, that's not even a word, dead, you're dead tired. You're absolutely just dead tired. Yet your heart is pounding like you just ran a marathon and you can't go to sleep. Because of the anxiety of waking up the next day to do something you don't want to do. But we continue to do it. Again, I'm the crazy one though. Einstein. Everyone knows what quote's coming next. doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results is the definition of insanity. This entire world's insane. We wake up, we put gas in our car, we go to a job, we kiss our boss's ass when we don't want to, we do conference calls, we have about 5 minutes in the day where we're thinking about giving back. We want to give back more. We want to give more time to our kids. We want to give more time to our wife or husband. We want to be nicer to the neighbor. We want to make sure that the next time someone cuts us off the traffic, we don't flip them off, honk our horn, and ruin both of our days. We go home, watch some TV or do what we do, or, you know, I'm not saying everyone does that, but then we go to sleep. 30 years later, we're doing the same thing. We retire, spit out a couple grandkids, and then we die. That's, again, I got so many thoughts that are going through my head. I know that's brash. I know, who the hell am I to be up? That's what's weird to me. It's just sitting up here. Why are you listening to me? Why does it matter what I have to say? That's what I'm getting really confused at. Is like, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I don't have a new invention. I don't have a new innovation. I don't have a book to sell you. I don't have a special new way to look at life. I'm simply just reminding you what you were all taught as kids. And again, you all teach your kids to be nice to everyone that crosses your path, right? Black, white, fat, skinny, old, young, boy, girl. You hold your kid's hand, and if he's mean or he acts up in a public place, he or she, we get mad at them. We get mad that they're not nice to their friends. They're not nice to their teachers, that they're late, they don't get good. We get mad at them for not being nice to everyone. So my question, and I don't have an answer, and I'm not pointing fingers, and I really don't know the solution. What happens from age 5 or when we're kids to where we are today? What happens? I don't know that. Why do we do what we do? Why do we drop our iPhone and break the glass? You know for a fact it's our fault. And then we get on the phone with Verizon and we yell at the customer service girl because she can't get us a phone for free. But yet we're nice people. I'm a nice guy, I'm a nice girl. But yet I just listened to you absolutely rip apart a customer service girl that had nothing to do with your problem. I'm not saying everyone does that. I'm really trying not to be speaking in generalities and kind of piss people off. But why do we get cut off in traffic and lose our mind? Why, down on the tube, unbelievable. No one, yeah, I'm just learning that. I took some film for, we had a long tube stop, or ride, and no one looked up. You're sitting that close to someone, you don't want to know who that person is. How many times we've asked people, do you know your neighbors? No. How long you lived there? 6 years. You don't know your neighbor. Why do we not want to know our neighbor? Why do we not want to know? Why do we get on a plane and if someone starts talking to us, we roll our eyes, tell them we sell insurance, and we'll shut the hell up? Why do we tell our kids to be nice, but we're not? Why don't we give more? Why don't we care more? Why don't we smile more? Why do we do the things we do? Why do we go after money? Why do we go after these material things? Why do we have, like Mike was saying, why do we have 2 or 3 cars when we can only drive 1? Why do we have 30 pair of jeans? Why do we have all this stuff? When at some point in our life we're all going to wake up and say, God, I knew it, I didn't want this stuff, I'm going to give it away. Why do we have that stuff? I don't know. I really don't. I don't get it. And maybe that confusion will make me a tortured soul, and I'll never be happy, and I'll never figure out what it is exactly to be. But I don't get it. And there's all these very smart, very powerful, very influential, very wealthy people that obviously are all those things more than I am. And they're building all these amazing economic plans or these new philosophical plans or these new whatever plans. And to me, they're built on unstable ground. They're skipping over the most important thing. Because Again, you can build this economy, we can get everything back on, we can get out of this recession, we can be happy. But do you honestly believe when we come out of this recession, if nothing changes with our own mentality internally, anything's going to change? I think we'll crash even harder. I think 2008 is going to look like a cakewalk if we do not give a shit about the person next to us that we don't know. How do we make that happen? No clue. I've got an idea. I've got a possible plan. And that's where I cannot believe it took me this long, but I believe to me, it's pay it forward. To me, pay it forward embodies everything good. Pay it forward is the Rainmaker Foundation. Pay it forward is Peace One Day. Pay it forward is Action for Happiness. Pay it forward is fighting cancer. Pay it forward is everything good in this world. Anything that embodies good. If you're doing something today that's going to impact someone in the future that you have no idea who they are, that to me is pay it forward. And I think it's that one thing, whether you have money, whether you don't, whether you live here, whether you are one of those billions of people going to sleep tonight with no food, you can wake up tomorrow and make someone smile. And I was talking to a couple people today, and again, I'm probably going to lose a couple people here. I believe all the massive wars that we're having right now in the Middle East, World War I, World War II, I believe all that major conflict started with the tiniest of things. Such as you looking at someone wrong, they looked at you wrong, you got into a conflict, you yelled at each other, and you went on. Again, someone cut you off, you lost your mind, maybe there was some road rage, you got out of the car and beat the hell out of each other. That to me is not little. Playing basketball with my buddies back at home, watching them foul each other and watching them lose their mind like it's the NBA championship, and not talking for 2 weeks because of someone slapping, that's not okay to me. That breaks my heart. I would just literally walk out of the gym in tears like, I don't like that. I think those little tiny conflicts escalate up to more because those little conflicts, everyone apologizes, says I'm sorry, we all move on, and then it's okay to do it again the next time. But then it escalates just a tiny bit more, and I think it escalates to where we are today. And again, the recession, the government, Occupy Wall Street, we're all trying to point a finger. We don't like the fat cat CEOs making more money than us. It's not their fault. It's everyone in here had a part of that. We all had a part of that. Especially in America. We all chose to take that 125% of our house loan for a big house to go buy a boat and a car. But yet we get mad at them because they won't balance out. Everyone has a choice. You have a decision. They may hand feed you something that's not good for you, but you have a choice not to take it. We all have choices. We all have a part in this hellhole, and I told someone it was a hellhole at the Trafalgar Square, and she looked at me like, this guy's trying to help the world, and he's calling it a hellhole? I don't know what to tell you. I think we're past patting everyone on the back and saying, you donate time at the homeless shelter for a weekend. Good for you, go ahead and sleep. What are you doing the other 51 weeks? Well, I go down for a week into a third world country and I build an orphanage. Great. What are you doing the other 51 weeks? Because we're in this world because of everything we're doing, all 7 billion people. So obviously, when you really come down to the basics, it's not enough. It's absolutely, positively, we are not doing enough. Not even close, or we would not be here. It's not the people way at the top, and it's behind the government, the families that control, and the conspiracy theories, and they're going to screw us. Everybody. Everybody. This simple little piece of silicone is 10 cents. It's sad that I have to talk about this, but in an all-digital world, which I'm amazed right now that I'm looking out and no one's on their phone, we have absolutely lost that human connection. We've never been so disconnected in our lives, ever. Ever. And you can shake your head at me and say, well, I've got all these friends and this and that, but again, the world would not be this way if more people were better. Simply says pay it forward on it. There's a lot of wristbands in the world, everyone knows that. We're just recreating the wheel here. Here's the difference, scientifically proven, and in a room like this, I'm going to get ostracized for saying this. I've seen articles of 3,000 thoughts a day, and I've seen articles where we have 40 to 50,000 thoughts a day. Whatever it is, we have lots of thoughts. And everyday life takes over, and you guys are going to walk out of here, probably forget what Mike said, definitely forget what I said. Life's going to take over. You're going to go back to, you know, what can I get out of someone? How am I going to wake up tomorrow and put food on the table? How do I make my business grow? Whatever life takes, just whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. So this was created as a reminder to do good. It's your turn. That's it. Your turn. Hold the door open, make someone smile, buy someone's coffee, help a lady with her bags, whatever you choose to do. The movie is all about 1 for 3, 927, but a lot of people don't know math, so they don't do it. Seriously. There's a lot of people that have come up to us and said, you know, I don't have time to help 3, so I'm not going to do it. Wow, okay. So we want to dumb it down and just do 1. I believe it starts with just tiny little things. So you wear this as a reminder to do good. Here's the difference though. As soon as you do good, there's a physical action. You'll take the bracelet off, hand it to that person, and say, this is why I did this. This was accidental. I can promise you this was not thought of. For some very odd reason, that's a very powerful trigger for people. To physically have to take that off breaks down the wall between the receiver feeling like you're trying to sell them something, or like there's a weird thing going on, and they're accepting it because you gave them something, and then everyone can walk off. And for the giver who's shy, who's insecure, who just doesn't feel weird, who doesn't want to be told to F off, this makes it okay. And even for the people that are looking at me right now like I'm just insane and I really have no right to be up here, and I've jumped all over the world, all over so many different topics, and you'd rather see someone more polished and you think I'm full of shit, you will still take this bracelet, I promise you will, and you'll take it and you'll do it, and you'll want to prove us wrong, and you'll want to prove that this movement doesn't happen, you want to prove that this silicone bracelet doesn't have the ability to do that. But my feeling, or the chances we've seen, or what we found out, is that you will do it. You'll give it away almost in spite of pay it forward or doing something nice for someone. And I don't think that's going to happen in this room, because this room is just so, your mindset is giving already. But you'll give it to them, and you will notice that doing something so simple for a human being in a world that has become so cynical and so detached, that if you do something for them, a lot of you will get tears out of something. You'll get tears out of a grown person. You'll get tears out of holding a door open for someone. You'll get tears out of asking someone how their day is and catching their eyes and waiting for the response rather than being 10 feet past them when you hear that response. Because it's just a habit to say, how you doing? And go on. So hopefully when that reaction happens, that will maybe click something in your mind, and maybe you'll still never want to pay it forward or another bracelet, or you won't care about it, but maybe it'll get you thinking. To me, this movement's about a rising tide brings up all ships. I believe there's a lot of people in this world who are on the fence of doing good. They're on the fence of donating $5 to a charity. They're on the fence of going down to Africa. They're on the fence of giving more time. And I believe if a stranger comes out of the blue on a bad day, and there's stranger on stranger kindness, and they do something out of the goodness of their heart, and they just walk on, I believe that little bit is going to make millions of people jump to the other side of the fence. And imagine tomorrow if millions more people woke up and Sunday was today. Imagine if millions more people woke up and wanted and did what they thought they could do to make the world a better place. Imagine if Sunday was today and millions more people did more. Imagine when you went to bed, if you asked yourself one question: how did I better the world today? Imagine if hundreds of millions of people went to bed not even doing anything. They didn't have to do anything that day. But what if you asked yourself that question: how did I make the world better? How did I make the world better today? And just got that thought process going. So, I didn't think I'd be up here this long. Not too long? Oh, cool, sweet, okay. I've never filled 15 minutes. So I'm going to end on that. There's actually a few people in the audience right now that are actually asleep, so I cannot believe I've done this to you guys. I'm so sorry. That's okay. I think that's the best thing about this movement is I'll never defend it. If you don't agree with it, fair enough. If you think we're idiots, fair enough. If you think pay it forward's good and you do something with pay it forward that I don't even actually like because it's not in the right sense, we won't stop you. It's a choice. You can do whatever you want. I just hope that this simple movement, this reminder, this trigger, will make it so more people will do good. And the percentages of you wanting to do good the day after increase, and if that increases, then we'll move forward. I don't know what else to do. I'm a very simple person. I think the world needs simplicity in a complex world, and that's it. So, most of you guys already have bracelets on. All I'm asking in the next few days, in the next week, do something nice for someone. Pass that bracelet on. Remember what that feeling was like to be a kid, to be nice to that person for no other reason than just to do it. Watch the reaction of that person who received it. Watch just the emotion of that person when they're so blown away when you do something simple. And hopefully that will make you want to do more the next day. Does that sound like a plan? Is that simple? That's all I'm asking. I'm not telling you to change your life or anything. I just want just a tiny bit more from you tomorrow than you did today. That's it. Fair enough?
Yeah.
I'm done.